Hi, my name is Dr. Christine Dollahan. I'm an energy psychology practitioner, life purpose coach, and an intuitive. And today I am called to talk to you about Mettavolution, or the love revolution, the love shift that we're going through right now. A little bit of how I work and how these videos work, because I think I haven't talked about this in a past video quite yet. So the way that this works for me is that I have a human self and I have a spiritual self. And when I do my healing work and when I do my intuitive work, I am in some way, shape, or form able to shift into my spiritual self, which has this, like oodles of records and, pages and pages and pages of spiritual downloads and things that, I just came in with. I don't know where I get this information from. It's partially a remembrance and it's partially an intuition. And I can shift into that space specifically when I meditate. But I've trained myself to shift in it pretty quickly, even in a conscious mind. And then I, connect with that, which I call God or higher source, and it's different expressions of it. Angels, other guides, other beings, and they have not, disclosed any kind of name to me. But for me, it's just all God energy, highest love. That's what I connect with. It's radiant love and above. That's what I always say is what I want to connect with. And then they download me with information, and they download me with topics and ideas that could be helpful for people who are watching this. So it's very likely that it's not a coincidence that you're watching this. Very likely that you've been brought here, that there were crazy coincidences, because that's what they told me they were going to do in bringing people together here. These videos are also not about me. I could care less about likes and shares and clicks for just me. My purpose and my mission on this planet is helping with this shift in consciousness, helping to raise the vibrations of planet Earth, and helping all of you doing the same, because we're all in some way, shape, or form the same. Separation is just an illusion. Me being in this body is an illusion from you being in that body. Personality and all of that is a wonderful thing, and it will all fall away once we die. So the thing that stays eternal is what combine, what we all share and what will leave this body. So that said, as I was exercising today, I'm a big runner. That's when I'm mostly downloaded with things. I felt into the atmosphere. I felt into the universe, and I, connected with that. And when if I look down, by the way, it's because I am actually channeling as I'm speaking often. So it's just kind of me tuning in. Okay. I'm not reading anything. I'm tuning in. All right. But so I was running, and I was kind of, like tuning in and downloaded. And I was sort of asking, what does love, what does love want what does love want them to know? Like what loving message wants to come through that's of the highest good for everybody involved that was watching this video. And what they were talking to me about was that there is a really big shift in frequency and light energy coming into this planet right now. Planet Earth is rapidly evolving. There was a question in the comments of we've been moving from 3D through 4D through into 5D. And what does that mean, or what's that? And it's really all about energy. Okay. It's going into quantum physics. It's really beautiful, because what we're going through right now is sort of an integration of everything. All right. It's an integration of separate concepts that we used to think were very separated from one another, and are being integrated into one whole. All right. So when we're talking about this love shift, we're talking about an integration of everything. We're talking about an integration of separateness into unity. We're talking about understanding that we're all not separate from another, that we share consciousness with each other all the time. If you've had somebody, if you thought about somebody and in that moment they call you, that's shared consciousness. Okay, that's just showing you that this idea that you're in your little body alone, isolated, and nobody else has that experience that you have is really false, because you're constantly sharing consciousness with other people. And there's also a universality of the shared experience of being human and being a spiritual being in a human body. So they wanted me to share with all of you that there has been an increase of frequency. Okay, frequency meaning we're all sort of starting to vibrate on a higher frequency. Our bodies are starting to vibrate on a higher frequency. Our souls, our minds, and with that comes sort of this realization that old things and old patterns that used to work when frequencies were lower are no longer working. Now, what does that mean? It's quantum physics. Okay, I was never a physics, genius in any way, but this makes sense. Okay, this really does make sense. Everything in the universe vibrates. Everything's energy, and it vibrates on either lower frequencies that makes it denser, right, or it vibrates on higher frequencies that makes it more lightful. Okay, light, in itself, light vibrates on different frequencies. This is something you can't dispute. This is something you can read in the physics books. Okay, this is data. And that's why I'm saying it's so beautiful how the spirituality or metaphysical realm is marrying the science realm, right? Because very soon we're going to be able to put data behind the spiritual, and even those of us that are skeptical of all of this are, there's not going to be a doubt anymore that this is what it is. Okay, so as we're going through, that realization, patterns in the individual's life won't really work out anymore. Okay, because vibration is, it's raised, and negativity is becoming unbearable, right? Because our own, whether we are aware of it or not, we're raising our frequencies as humans, as planet Earth is raising theirs. And in the physical body, that can come with a slew of symptoms like headaches, if you've had a lot of headaches, if you've had insomnia, if you had rashes, if you've had like nervous tension and that's really not normal for you, or you felt especially like a lot of anxiety, all of those symptoms and more symptoms of that increase in frequency in your physical body. And in the same way, our mental, emotional, and our spiritual aspects of ourselves, because they're all integrated and connected, are also raising their frequencies. And so certain mental, emotional things in our lives, so patterns, habits, addictions, things of that nature, are no longer working for us. Okay, and they're going to come to the forefront. So they're going to be really right there for you to see and to engage with. And not as a way to torture you in any way, just for torturing's sake, but in a way so that you can move sort of through your own shift in consciousness and end up at that other end. Okay, so it's really beautiful. It doesn't sound beautiful, but it is actually a very beautiful process we're going through. Okay. Let me see. I'm trying to explain this in like the very grounded way, so a lot of people can understand what this is. Obviously, these concepts can be sort of, elusive or convoluted, but I promise you, as you continue watching these videos, it's going to make sense. It's going to start making sense. Okay. And happy to pass books and other things along to you as well if you're skeptical of all of this. I believe that there's some really good, very grounded, very sciencey sort of books out there that are starting to really resonate with people in this way. So that said, what's the whole point and purpose in all of this? Okay, so here's the theory. I actually wrote about this in my dissertation. This is my theory. I'm not sure yet what's going to come of this, but I did channel this too in some way. So I had in itself a dissertation that was halfway channeled and halfway based in data and science. In this dissertation, it became very clear to me, actually, wrote this dissertation during the COVID pandemic. Okay, so let's backtrack. Every single prophecy of every cultural background has prophesied these times. It really does not matter. You can look at any single culture. It's, you know, it can be a religious background, it can be more nature based, it can just be cultural. I mean, every single culture has predicted these times, and they've predicted that this would be a shift in consciousness of some sort. These times are revolutionary, and it's really exciting to be alive in these times and to be part of this movement. This is going to be probably the last big revolution of planet Earth. Okay, the last one we had was a revolution of physics, where we discovered that our planet is round and not flat, where we discovered different physical laws. Now we're discovering a shift of consciousness along with the law of attraction, which is really a law of consciousness, and is the biggest law, very powerful law on this planet, right? And we're discovering that our consciousness is powerful beyond measure, that we can shift consciousness, that consciousness affects each other, and all of this good stuff. In the end, where we're moving from a shift out of fear-based thinking into a shift of, seeing us as who we truly are. The whole point and purpose, in my personal opinion, and also in what I've received in guidance and information from spirit, from above, is twofold. Okay, we have two universal purposes in on this planet. Number one, it is to recognize who we truly are at our core. Okay, we're energy, obviously, we're essence, right? Energy can't be destroyed, we're immortal. But who are we truly? Okay, and all the religious texts talk about this. We are made in the image of Creator God. Creator God is unconditional love. Creator God is unconditionally supportive. Creator God is there for you all the time. Creator God can be reached anytime. You do not need a temple or a church to go and connect with Creator God. And Creator God is creative, obviously created the universe and all of that. But if we're assuming that we're created in that image, right? And Jesus said that, right? I am a son of God. Well, we're all sons and daughters of God because we're just like that. Okay, we're infinitely powerful, and we can create our own realities. We can create whole worlds if we want to. If you have predominantly negative thoughts, look at your circumstances. Are they predominantly negative? Well, probably, your powers were unconsciously used for that purpose of creating a negative outcome. If you look at all the people that have all these blessings and all this wealth, is it only luck? No. Maybe they're blessed in some way that you don't know, how or why. But I would argue that probably 90% of what they created was with their minds and their thoughts and their positivity and believing that things would work out. I'm really honestly an example of that as well. Everything I have now I've created, both good and bad. And most of my life is pretty good at this point, but there's still some things that I can improve in my life too. I'm not perfect. I have my flaws. I have my human self. So, all of that. But that just said, number one purpose is to recognize our true purpose here on planet Earth, which is we're made in the image of God, and that is unconditional love. Okay, so we are unconditional love, and we are infinitely powerful. Okay, the fear-based thinking of I am not enough, God is a punishing God, and all of that good stuff, okay, was man-made. That is not from God. God is not punishing, okay? And believe me, I was there. When I started my journey, I was an atheist, and for a good reason, because it was layered onto me that God was a punishing God, and I did not want anything to do with that. So, it's a man-made concept. It served us at some point in humanity. It served certain people in their way of wielding power, but it's no longer serving people. I think people are starting to understand this is it's falling apart, and we can talk about falling the falling apart of dogma and of religion in another video. But this video is really focused around that. So purpose number one, we're unconditional love, and we are absolutely powerful, and we're meant to recognize this. Purpose number two is we're meant to be joyful. Simple. We're really just, we're meant to enjoy our life, okay? And how do we do that? By really recognizing who we are, by stepping out of all the drama in our head, by stepping out of all the storylines that are churning in our head, by stepping out of the illusion that this body is all there is, that, it's important what my hair does or how my makeup is made or whatever else. That's all, don't get me wrong, that's all fun stuff, okay? It's all very fun stuff, but it's also an illusion, okay? At some point, I'm going to shed this body. Who cares if, who cares? I mean, I care and I don't, but anyway, a different story. But I think you're starting to understand what I mean here, right? We're here to be joyful, to have fun, to not, engage in the suffering that is our minds, that tell us all these stories about other people and about us. And really, when we judge other people, honestly, when we judge other people, we're really judging ourselves. We're reflecting stuff from ourselves onto them. It's shadow work all the way, okay? Like, if you don't like somebody, well, honey, that's your mirror image. And I'm sorry it's hard to hear, but it is what it is. Whatever doesn't resonate with other people that we don't like about them, it's actually something we don't like about ourselves. And if we start meeting people and we predominantly like people and just kind of like let them be, then that means that we've really started working through our stuff, because there's nothing that really is being reflected back to us. By the way, same thing is true if you meet somebody who really resonates with you and you think they're really pretty and cute or handsome or whatever else. That's also a reflection of something that's within you that you really like. So that said, but those are the two purposes here on planet Earth. The way that I received guidance, the way that my higher, the way that I'm, sort of here to develop, to deliver messages. And so that's my own purpose, my own guidance is that. That said, recognizing all of that, we need to go through, a lot of us need to go through hard times to be like, wait a minute, is that really the truth? Do I really want to continue engaging in that? Is that really what I'm here for? All this suffering, all this pain? Wait a minute, right? And then we start seeking, right? And then we start finding these videos, and then we're like, hold on, maybe there's something else in this here, And that's when we start awakening. That's when we start doing the work, okay? And that's when we're on the path. So that's how negativity and patterns and all this stuff that's happening for a lot of people now is coming to the forefront. COVID played a pretty big role in this, okay? Because, it really pushed us all into mass isolation. So something that, only the seekers used to do, only a very small percentage of people used to do. We were all sort of like pushed into it collectively, whether we wanted it or not, right? You had to suddenly sit with yourself in your little, home. You weren't able to see anybody. You had to sit with yourself. It was sort of like, okay, people of this world, let's do this. Let's get this consciousness rocking and rolling. And the only way we can do this is by engaging in our own hero's journey and being pushed into it. Okay, so really, this revolution and love that we're on, this movement that's happening right now, is quite beautiful, because it starts with the individual. Okay, so as you do your own work, you're actually about to help millions and millions of other people because you're doing it, you're inspiring others, you're talking to others about it, you're being an example in the world, so you're rippling it out. And so suddenly other people are like, maybe there's something to this. Maybe I'm going to read that book or listen to this video or listen to this podcast. And then their consciousness is starting to go, and they start working through their stuff, and then they ripple out and they ripple out. And before you know it, we've got that 1% that's going to tip everything over. And we're in this like better, we're over the hump. Okay. Times are dark right now. The 2020s are the roaring 20s. They're dark. It's not going to be very much better until about 2030, but then we're over the hump. Okay, I think we're very soon we're going to start moving into a place where more and more people are sort of conscious of who they are, this love consciousness, this shifting out of negativity, the shifting out of our own stuff, right? But in order to do that, we need to go into our own stuff, and that's this whole concept of the hero's journey. Joseph Campbell. It's what the Hollywood movies are based on, and I will be making another video about that because that's just too much to talk about right now. But really, what the message is for today is just kind of a little bit of a message of hope. If you're finding yourself in a really dark time right now, if this is like just kind of like you're floating in thin air and you're like, why is this happening? I'm really not sure. It's all happening for a purpose. Okay. And purpose number one, it's happening so that you recognize who you truly are, and that all this stuff you used to tell yourself about not being good enough and judging yourself is absolutely the untruth. Okay. It's also showing you that you're here to have fun and laugh and be joyful. And it is here for you to do your part in this movement of love shift, of Mettavolution. Okay. Metta being love, to affect others. Okay. To inspire others, to help others on their path, because we're really not separate. We're really one. Okay. And we're moving into that consciousness of oneness, of understanding that we're all having universal experiences, that, we're all here to walk each other home. We're all here to help each other evolve. And so that's how you shift out of, fear, right? Out of this idea of like, I'm not giving them that, or, they're better than me, or I'm better than them, or whatever else. So that was a lot for today. A lot more to talk about here, but I'm going to leave you with this. We're sort of in this together. We're building this movement together. So you who are listening to this, as well as I'm sharing the messages, but then I hope you can take all of this into your own life and start understanding and getting purpose and meaning into it, and starting to understand what you're really here for, and then ripple that out so that we can tip that 1% and really help planet Earth move forward in a very positive and loving direction. So I hope you can be a part of this Mettavolution by sharing this video. This is really not about me, people of this world. It really isn't about me. I'm just here as a consciousness worker. I'm just here to help some people on the path. I'm just here to inspire in some shape, way, or form. This is really about all of us and about our planet. Okay, so let's share these contents, whether it's from me, whether it's from other lightful souls who bring these messages through. Share it with others, help them find their path, and subscribe to this if this is serving you. There's more content like this coming. And as a last wish, I just wish you so much love, and I wish you blessings, and I send you blessings, and I just hope this was somewhat helpful, because a lot of people are going through this right now, this wanting to really move out of their negative cycles and wanting to be free and wanting to understand what's going on. So hopefully this was helpful, and I will see you next time.